Hey everyone, this is Aarti. Welcome to my YouTube channel Ace English Academy. In this video, I'm going to teach you about all the tenses in English language. For each tense, I will show you the form, tell you about its uses, and share with you example sentences so that you fully understand the topic. If you like the video, do like, share, and comment. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for future notifications. If you're ready, let's start. Tenses and its kinds. In this video, we will discuss about tenses in very brief and precise manner. If you want detailed description, visit my channel. You can watch my other videos because I have made detailed video on each tense. So what do we understand by tense? The word tense is derived from Latin word tempus, which means time. So what it tells us? So the tense tell us when a person did something or when something existed or happened. We come to know about all the details about any action or any event, that when it happened or when it existed, that all comes from tense. So tenses, on the basis of timeline, tenses are divided into three types: past, present, and future. Total there are 12 tenses, and on the basis of timeline, three tenses are there. Further, there are four aspects of each tense that I will explain you. See here. Tenses are divided on three types on the basis of time reference. As I told you earlier. And what are three types? See here. Present. These are time references downwards. Present, past, and future. And here are the aspects. Four aspects: indefinite, continuous, or we call it progressive; perfect or perfect continuous, or we call it perfect progressive. When we combine the time reference with the aspect, we make four further types of tenses, and they are, if we combine with the present time aspects, present time with the aspects, then present indefinite, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous tense. Similarly for the past tense and also for the future tense. So total there are how many? 12 tenses. So first we will read about the present tense. Present indefinite tense, then we'll continue other tenses. Talking about the present indefinite tense, in present indefinite tense we use subject I, he, she, it, we, you, they. So let's see examples here. He works in London and John passes his exam. I drink tea every morning. So you can notice here in the subject, with the subject he and John, I have used S and ES, whereas with I have just used the verb first form drink. So talking about this, with the plural subjects, we just use verb first form without SES, and with the singular subjects, we use with subject this verb SES. Let's see here. With I, you, we, and they, we use without SES, and with he, she, it, we use S and ES. As we know that the present indefinite tense talks about an action that is generally true or habitual, and it took place in the past and continue to take place in the present and will take place in the future. If we talk about the first example here, see here, he works in London. So at present he is working in London. Now he is working in London. So it's not like he just started working. He might be working from some time in the London, and he will work there for some time. So this is how this indefinite tense talks about an action which talks about past, present and future. So talking about the uses of present indefinite tense, it is used for both the habit and routine and also for the facts. Let us see the examples here about habits and routine. I go to park every morning. She wakes up early in the morning daily. Routine. Karthik often plays piano after school. So these are the habits and routines. When we talk about the facts, see here, the earth revolves around the sun. This is a fact. You cannot change it. It always snows here in January. She sings very well. So you can notice here in the first sentence that the fact this earth revolves around the sun is a fact about the world, about the earth. So we can use fact can be used about people like she sings, or can be about things in the world. So this was about the simple present tense. Present continuous tense. So present continuous tense indicates an action that is taking place at the moment of speaking. So this is present. So when we talk about anything what is going on now, we use present continuous tense for that. And what is the sentence structure for it? Subject, ism-are, verb, first form, ing, and then comes the object. So see here, I am writing articles on different topics. He is reading various kinds of books. They are playing football now. And see, you can hear with I we use am, with he, she, it we use is, and with you, we, they we use are. So I am, he is, they are. Okay, all the actions are taking place while we are talking about them. So for that we use present continuous tense. Let's see about the uses now. As I told you, for the activities happening now, see here, he is walking to the door. The teacher is delivering the lecture. We are attending the webinar on the digital marketing. So this is how for the activities happening now, and for the planned activities. How? See here. The train is arriving in 2 minutes. They are going to meet at the hotel tomorrow. I am studying to become a doctor. So this is how we can use them. This present continuous tense for present activities. Those are happening now, or for the planned activities just going to happen. So let's talk about now the next tense, that is past tense, and its four aspects. The first one is past indefinite tense. Past tense, this simple past tense indicates an action that took place before the present moment. This is the present moment, before the present moment, and has no real connection with the present. Let's see examples now. I wrote, write, wrote. I wrote articles on different topics. He danced in the function. So you can see here second form of verb, wrote and danced. So I want to tell you here about the irregular verbs. See here, see, saw, seen. Go, went, gone. Find, found, found. Swim, swam, swum. Come, came, came. Write, wrote, written. So all these are irregular verbs, whereas dance, play, all are regular verbs. In regular verbs, we just have to add ed in the end. Danced, played. Okay, let's see about the uses now. To express completed action in the past. I saw movie last Friday. I finished work, walked to the beach, and found a nice place to swim. So it expresses completed action in the past. He went to the library yesterday. We came for shopping in the market last week. Past continuous tense. Past continuous tense indicates an action going on at some time in the past, going on at some time in the past, or an action in the past that is longer in duration than the another action in the past. How? This is one action and this is the another action. Okay, so it indicates an action going on in the past. So this action is going on for some duration of time in the past, or action in the past that is longer in duration than the other action in the past. So this is also an action and this is also an action. So we talk about this action when it is taking for some duration of time, longer duration of time than the other action. Let's understand with examples. I was sleeping when you got home. So was sleeping is a longer action. So here we used which past continuous for this tense. So what is the sentence structure? Subject was verb first form ing. For continuous we use ing. You can see here with I, he, she, it we use was. With you, we, they we use were. I was sleeping. The light went out while they were reading. So light went out. The action happened. Before that, what happened? While they were simultaneously other action which happened for a longer duration while they were reading. Okay, so we use past continuous for this. About the uses for unfinished ongoing activity in the past. He was painting the door when a bird struck the window. Unfinished. So all of a sudden what happened? The bird struck the window and he might have stopped painting the door now. So he got interrupted. I was making dinner when she arrived. So she was making dinner. What happened? At that time she arrived. Then she might have started talking to her and she was interrupted in making dinner. Alan was cutting the grass the other day when snake appeared. All of a sudden snake appeared. So he ran from there or he started shouting. So what happened? Interruption occurred while he was performing that action. They were sleeping when the alarm went off. So this is how we talk about the unfinished ongoing activity in the past. Before moving to the next tense, we will quickly revise all the four tenses we have read till now. Past, simple present, past continuous, simple past, and past continuous tense. See here, first tense. You can see here in the timeline that this action, this tense, talks about, expresses a habit or a routine, something that happens regularly. You can see here that happens regularly. I play football every morning. Okay, coming to the next, that is present continuous. This tense talks about something or an action that is happening right now. When we are talking about it, that thing is happening. I am playing football now. Okay. Third is simple past tense. Simple past tense expresses an action, finished action in the past. Okay. See here, I played football yesterday. So the match or the game is over now. Talks about the finished action in the past. Coming to the next past continuous tense. See here on the timeline. We can see here two actions. One is this blue line and the other is this brown cross. There are two actions and one is unfinished action, unfinished continuous action. See, I was playing football and middle of that what happened? Another action happened, that is I got phone call from my friend. So it talks about two actions. It talks about two actions. One is unfinished continuous action in the past. Middle of that second action took place. Okay, something happened. So this was all about the four tenses. Now moving on to the next. Coming to the next is present perfect tense. Present perfect tense indicates an action. See here on the timeline. It indicates an action that has been completed sometimes before the present moment. This is the present moment and this is the action has been just completed before the present moment. In the present perfect tense, we use has, with subject I, you, we, they, he, she, it. And with he, she, it, with the singulars, we use this has. And with I, you, we, and they, we use have. Let's see examples here. He has finished the work. So now the work is over. Talking about the action just finished before now. He has, she has slept. Okay. So this is also talking about action which is completed just before now. Moving on to the uses. As I told you, recently completed actions that still influence things happening in the present. How? They have finished their meeting, so now they can go. Because they have finished their meeting, now they can go. I have finished my homework, so now I can do anything because homework is done. That is how, sorry, this is how these actions are influencing things happening in the present. Shrikant has lost his glasses. So what can happen now? He can't see many things clearly. The sun has risen and you need to wake up. The sun is already up now, so you need to wake up. So this is how this is about the use of present perfect tense. Now we will talk about next present. Before going to the next tense, I want to tell you about the use of since and for. Since and for. We use for a period of time, and we use since to talk about a point in the past time. When we talk about a specific point, like here we talk about 5 minutes, 2 weeks, 3 days. So here we are talking, see, you can see specific time, 9 o'clock, sharp 9 o'clock, 1st of January. If we talk about days, we are talking about specific day, Monday. If we are talking about 6 months, here is specific month, December. Years, specific year, century, specific century. So this is how we use for and since. Let's see examples now. She has lived here for many years. And if we do since, she has lived here since 1980. We have taught at this school for long time. We have taught at this school since 1965. Alice has worked in New York for 3 months. With 3 months. See here, not mentioned clearly. But here, Alice has not worked in New York since March. Specific month is mentioned here. I have not cleaned my room for weeks. How many weeks? From when? I have not cleaned my room since last Tuesday. That is how we use since and for. Okay? In the sentences. Coming to the present perfect continuous tense, you can see here on the timeline that the present continuous tense indicates an action that started in the past and is continuing in the at the present time. Continuing at the present time. You can see here example. See, he has been working in the office since 9 a.m. in the morning. So it's like now it might be 12 p.m. or 3 p.m. So he is still working in the office. So we talk about action that started in the past and is still continuing. Here with the subject I, he, she, it, we, you, they, we use has and have. Has with he, she, it, and have with I, you, we, and they. Let's understand about the uses now. Here are the uses. See here, as I told you, talks about an action that started in the past and still continuing. First example, my neighbor has been living next door to me for 2 years and still living there only. So they have been trying to contact her, yet not able to make the contact and still trying. I have been working for them for the last 7 months and still will work there, don't know for how many years. The party has been going all night and still the night is not over. The party is still going on. This is how we talk about the actions started in the past and are still continuing in the present time. So as we are talking about the perfect tenses, we read about the present perfect and present perfect continuous. Here comes the past perfect, and then we will learn about the past perfect continuous tense. The past perfect tense you can see here on this timeline indicates an action in the past that had been completed before another action in the past. So there are two actions. This is the first action completed before this action in the past. Before this action in the past. So this is the earlier action and this is the action which happened after this action. So let's see examples here. Rover had eaten the pie before we got home. So the previous action is, earlier action is had eaten the pie. So he finished eating the pie. After that, what happened? We got home. So he had, coming to the second sentence, he had slept before I came back from the office. So this is the first action happened. He had slept. After that, what happened? I came back home from the office. So when we talk about the first earlier action, we use their past perfect tense. And in this past perfect tense, see we have with all the subjects we use had. With I, we, you, he, she, it, they, we have used had. You can see here. With the first person noun also had and the he is also had. You can notice in the further examples also. Moving on. We will understand about this simple past and the past perfect continuous tense, see here, by comparing them. When to use which tense when we talk about the actions happening in the past, see here. John had gone out when I arrived in the office. So John had already left the office when his boss arrived in the office. So this for the previous or the earlier event, what we have used had gone, had and third form of verb. This is past perfect tense. and I arrived. You can see from here. This is the simple past. I had saved my document before the computer crashed. So before computer crashed, what happened? I had saved my documents. For the first event here, you can notice past perfect, had saved. When they arrived, after that what happened? We had already started cooking. So before that this happened. When they arrived, before that what happened? They had already started cooking. So for the previous or the earlier event, we use past perfect form. He was very tired. Why? Because he had not slept well. He hadn't slept well. That is why he was tired. So for the earlier event, here also you can see we have used past perfect form of verb. Now moving on. Coming to the past perfect continuous tense, you can see here on the timeline that this present perfect continuous tense indicates an action in the past that took place before another time or event in the past and continued during the second event or time point in the past. So when we talk about two actions in the past, and the first action which started earlier is still continuing, middle of that what happened? Another action took place, but still that action is continuing. For that we use past perfect continuous. Let's see examples here. I see here the what we use here with the subject had been, verb first form ing. Okay, I had been working at the company for 5 years when I got the promotion. So he got promotion while he was working in a company for 5 years. Okay, but still he is working in that company. But still he is working in that company. So you can see here he had been exercising when I called. So when I called, this is when I called is also an action. So what he was doing at that time? He had been exercising. So this is how when we talk about the events, two events and one event that's still continues, when the other event already started in the past. Let's see a few more examples. He had been drinking milk out the carton when mom walked into the kitchen. So what he was doing at the moment when mom walked into the kitchen, he had been drinking milk out the carton. Martha had been walking 3 miles a day before she broke her leg. So you can notice two events are happening and the first event is still continuing when all of a sudden middle of that second event took place. The program that was terminated had been working well since 1945. Kathy had been playing the piano for 35 years and still playing. Before we start the future tense, let's quickly revise all the perfect tenses: present perfect continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous tense. With examples, and we'll understand them on the timeline. I have completed my homework. So in this tense, it focuses on the completion of an action, does not mention the exact time when you completed that work or an action. It is understood, but it is understood that you maybe have completed the work just few minutes back. Okay. Present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous tense talks about an action that started in the past but is still continuing till the present time. I have been completing my homework for half an hour, yet I am doing my homework because homework is not completed. Coming to the next, past perfect tense. Past perfect tense talks about the two actions happened in the past. See here, when I left for tuition, I had completed my homework. Here, I had completed my homework is in past perfect tense. It means first what you did, first you finished your homework, then you left for the tuition. First you finished your homework, then you left for the tuition. Coming to the next, past perfect continuous tense. Past perfect continuous tense. See here, when my friend came, I had been completing my homework for half an hour. So the friend came sometimes in the past because it is past tense. So we are talking about the past tense. So some friend came somewhere in the past. See here, this point you can assume it as a friend. Half an hour before that, what you started? You started doing your homework. And still when your friend came, I was still doing my homework. So this is all about the perfect tenses. Let's move on to the future tense now. So coming to the future perfect tense. So future perfect tense is a little complicated, see here, because it is divided. It has three forms. They are going to, if we talk about the three different forms, what are they? Going to, present continuous using ing verb, and will. So here are the sentence structure. Is MR going to be? Is MR V1 ing, will be V1 ing. How? Let's understand with examples. First, we will talk about the going to. Going to is used for the plans and intentions. I think, you can see here, I think Nikhil and Mary are going to have a party next week. So going to have, from here we come to know that we are talking about an event which is going to have in the future time of an action, next week. Next example. We are going to have dinner together tomorrow. When we are talking about tomorrow, that is future. So this is how we can use going to for this also. And the second use is for predictions. He is going to be a brilliant politician someday. When he grow, he is going to be a brilliant politician. So this is how we can use going to also. You are going to be sorry you said that. Okay, for plans and intentions and for predictions. Present continuous, how we use this in future tense. When an action is promised, arranged, planned to take place in the near future. How? We are moving to Texas next week. So just we are planning for the future that is going to happen next week. So this is also, here also we are talking about the future tense. The bus is leaving at 6 p.m. Yet 6 p.m. is not on the clock. I am seeing the dentist tomorrow afternoon. This is also planned. We are going to Australia on 20th December. So this is also a plan that we are going to execute in the future. Now we will discuss about the will, how we use will in the future tense to predict an event in the future. Uncle will come home tomorrow. I think India will win the 2020 World Cup. To express willingness, see here how. His brother will carry the suitcase for you. To give orders, how you will do what I tell you to do. To invite. Will you sing song along? Will you sing song along? So this is how you can use will also for the future tense. You can use present continuous ing form. You can use going to. So all you can use in the future tense. Talking about the future continuous tense. Future continuous tense indicates an action. See here on the timeline. Talks about an action that is in future, okay, and will be in progress at some time in the future. So it talks about an action that is already going to happen in future and will be in progress for some time in the future. Let's see example. Here also with subject like I, we, I, he, she, it, we, you, they, we use will be verb first form ing. I will be working until late evening on Saturday. So talking about the future and about the action that will be in progress in the future, will be working. He will be walking when it starts to rain. So let's understand about the uses now. To denote an action that will be in progress at some point in the future. She will be having dinner with us tomorrow. That this action will be in progress at some time in the future. Tomorrow, Robin will be joining us at the meeting. So meeting is a process that will continue for some duration of time. Second use to denote an action, verbs. We always with the action verbs also we prefer to use future perfect, future continuous tense. I shall, or it is completely okay to use will here. I will be running the marathon next month. To understand in detail about the use of will and shall, you can watch my videos. I have made special videos for them. Robert will be reading various kinds of books. Future perfect tense. We will understand future perfect tense by comparing it with the future perfect continuous tense. Let's see first what is future perfect tense. First, future perfect tense indicates an action in the future that will have been completed before another time or event in the future. Let's see here with the example. I will have finished dinner by the time she calls me tonight. So I will have finished dinner by the time she calls me tonight. So I'm talking somewhere in the morning, but tonight I'm going to have dinner. So before that she will call me. So both the events are going to happen in future, but for the earlier event we use future perfect tense. Let's see about the sentence structure as subject will have verb third form and object. Coming to the future perfect continuous or perfect progressive tense indicates an action in the future that will have been continuing until another time or event in the future. See here, I will have been studying for 2 hours by the time she calls me tonight. So she is going to call at 8 and I started studying at 6. So still I was studying when I got call from her, when I will get call from her. So this is how we use future perfect progressive tense, and this is the sub sentence structure. Subject will have been, verb ing and object. Let's see examples and uses. So let's see about the uses of future perfect tense. for an action which will start in future and complete at defined point. See here examples. The train will have left by the time you reach. So the train will have left the station by the time you reach. So here by the time you reach identifies a certain point of time in the future. Next example. I will have moved into my new office by the end of this month. I will have eaten every chocolate in that box before my mom returns from work. So this chocolates, he will have eaten all the chocolates before. What will happen after that? Mother will return from work. Suzanne will have finished her studies before she gets married. So here we can notice that used for an action which will start and complete at defined point of time in the future. Now about the uses of future perfect continuous tense. Already have started, used for an action, already have started and will still be happening by a certain time in the future. How? I will have been waiting here for 3 hours by 6 o'clock. So will have been waiting for 3 hours. By 2004, I will have been living in London for 16 years. When I finish this course, I will have been learning English for 20 years. Next year, I will have been working here for 4 years. So this was all about the future tense now. So here video ends now. I hope you have learned a lot from this video. Thank you for watching. Keep supporting. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And happy learning till next video.